Hestalin, and I'm here with a video for you about negotiating tips for women. Just to clarify, I'm not an expert at all. So who is this video for? This video is for women in burgeoning leadership positions or women who might be interviewing for their first leadership position, and also for anybody who wants negotiation tips. These tips are targeted towards women and created with women in mind, but they're not female exclusive, so go ahead and use them if you're a dude. So here's a disclaimer. I'm not an expert. I've never negotiated for a salary in my life. I'm probably going to have to do that soon though. So this video is a research review, but there's references at the end of the video. And if you find this topic interesting, I'd recommend to go on to use those other references at the end of the video. Read it for yourself. So point number one, negotiations are stacked against women. Women are more likely to experience backlash when they negotiate for a higher salary with a male boss. There's a perception that women are being greedy or not nice or not team players or not in it for the good of the company when they ask for more money. So just be aware of that it's a real thing. It's 4 times as likely to happen to a woman than it is to a man. So point number 2, what do we do about that? Prepare. Step 2 is to prepare. Step 3 is to prepare, just like these ladies on the left are preparing. And you want to lead your ask portion of your negotiation with a communal motivation instead of a discussion of your competencies. A lot of times in traditional negotiations, we see people, even if you just think about negotiations on movies, you see people talk about the things that they're good at, and that's why they should get more money. Don't do that. That's not good. So here's some example of some communal asks. I didn't really understand what they were talking about until I read the examples. But Margaret A. Neal, who is a professor at Stanford, said this was an example of her ask when she went in to negotiate for a higher salary. She said, what can I do for Stanford? And what can I do to help the dean solve the problems that he has? An example in mine would be, how could I shift my work in a different direction that would better support your vision for the school's future? It's all about asking in a way that is for somebody else. You want to ask, you want to negotiate really as a woman for somebody else and not for yourself to avoid that backlash problem. Point number 3 is you should prepare. You want to crowdsource in your network for appropriate salaries and packages. Google online, of course, what the appropriate salary is, but ask your friends, ask the people in your network. They'll share you if you tell them what you want the information for. Second thing is you want to figure out what the counterparty in your negotiation needs. Couple that need in your communal ask. That's when you're actually going to negotiate to fulfill their need, not for more money for your pockets. And the third thing is to practice. As a woman, you're statistically less likely to have experience negotiating than a man. So go out of your way to negotiate. Negotiate in your personal life. Go into the store, try and negotiate for a better price. Do it in low risk situations first so that you get a feel for your own voice and style. Don't forget, you're only as good as your other options, so find out what they are. It's like dating. The more people want you, the more people want you. So don't go issue for issue in your negotiation. Don't say, well, you did this for him, so I think you should do it for me. That's not going to work in your favor. There'll probably be backlash, and an issue for issue negotiation means that there's a compromise where nobody gets what they want. So don't do that. So here's a great outline of that your negotiation could take. The first thing you should do is assess if you can actually influence the outcome. Be honest with yourself. If you can't, don't negotiate. Second thing, plan. We already talked about that. Third thing, ask. That's where your communal ask comes in. And the fourth thing, which we haven't talked about yet, is to package your proposal in a way that makes it sound like both you and your counterparty are winning from this situation. It becomes then a problem-solving place and not a negotiation place. Do that package. Do it with a communal view. If you want more info, I'd recommend this Margaret Neal video on leanin.org. She's actually going to talk way better about negotiation than I ever can, and she's the one who kind of started me on this research path. The second article I found helpful was a toolkit for women seeking a raise from the New York Times. Here are the resources I used for this presentation. Go back and pause the screen if you really want to look them up. But one last thing. When you do get that raise, when you do become the boss, when you are the head honcho, make it safe for other women to come in and negotiate with you. You might even want to share these tips or lead them to things, some information about how better to negotiate. Remember, we're all in this together. Make it safe for other people too. Thanks. Bye.